All right, excuse me. All right, guys. Just gonna do a quick live stream here. I don't have a whole lot of time to record a whole video and edit it, so I'm just gonna do this one live. So market's dumping out here a little bit. I thought this was gonna be um, a little bit of a bear trap here, and I thought they would close it back up near 435 today. And you notice what they did on the S&P. They kind of did like this little fake out. So last Friday we had the gap down. We sold off a little bit and then we rallied. And then on Friday we gapped higher and just chugged all the way up into all-time highs. They kind of did the same playbook to yesterday. Sold the market, then they gapped it up. And I'm sure a lot of people were buying the market here thinking, oh, like they're just gonna run it higher like they did last week. And they got the rug pulled on them. So Spider's now negative 0.75%. Same thing with the Nasdaq. Dow down about 0.8. Semi's getting hit pretty hard here at 2%. VXX having a decent day, but not volatility's not going crazy. VIX only up 5%. So again, it's a nice little down move here, but with volatility relatively muted, it's kind of hard to say that there's anything going on other than Opex games. Now we do have a cycle potentially for next week, some point next week, or expecting a pivot. This could be the start of that. Maybe we already topped out. I think Tuesday was the high for this week, so maybe that's going to end up being a top. The volume's not great here either, so it's not like we're seeing a ton of institutional participation, but we are basically violating this trend line for the third time. So we'll see where that closes. We close below that, then we have the chance to confirm next week. IWM getting hit really hard. It was up earlier. And that's because AMC was bouncing, and AMC makes up a large part of the IWM now. And AMC rolled over quite a bit in the last couple hours. And this is absolutely butchering anybody who's buying call. There was a lot of call buying going into this week and last week, and those call buyers got absolutely roasted. This is a nice little bounce level here at gap fill at 32, but yeah, AMC coming back negative now, so that's hurting the IWM. It's going back to the IWM really quick. Notice this trend line here. So we hit it yesterday. Now we're testing it again. If we close below that again, we have a chance to confirm next week. If we confirm, then we go right down to the 200 and probably this lower trend line and maybe the gap fill there. So that's where you'd be looking for downside on the Russell. Some other areas of weakness here. Oops, let's take a look at XLE. Yeah, XLE right into support here. I told you the other day the target for this would be about 48 bucks. You got a head and shoulders, so we're basically to target now. There's your gap fill. So XLE may get a little bit of a bid here, maybe next week. XLF holding up okay, but down 1.5%. It's still holding this trend here, but not looking very good. The KBE and KRE are definitely looking a little weaker. Again, we talked about this one yesterday. Notice the moving average is trending down, and this is not a very good looking candle here. But again, we don't want to make too much out of this. It is Opex week, so there's a lot of games that get played. Another thing, this is very, very, very important. Crude. So for the first time, and I tweeted this out, the first time since November, look at what we've done today. We finally got this lower low here. We never had a lower low before. So now we have a lower low in place. So now crude is vulnerable. So if you're long energy, I would strongly consider trimming, hedging, doing something, buy an SCO to hedge your position, do something. But crude is vulnerable now. And I was saying this the other day with XLE breaking down. I think it was yesterday I said with the XLE breaking down, that was probably going to take crude with it. Sometimes the producers can be a lead indicator in that regard. Let's take a look at the Dow really quick. But yeah, Dow was up nicely today. I think it almost had a new nominal all-time high, but that's a pretty ugly reversal there on the diamond. Dollar holding up pretty well. Still just kind of chugging in this range here, but so it looks like it's trying to build up some compression and break out. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Yields basically flat. We're higher, but now back to the flat line. And let's Let's look at the triple Qs here. Yeah, so triple Q is actually in decent shape. I mean, you're still holding this trend, still holding the 20 moving average, but nice little downtick there. And the semis, again, down about 2% today. So, but yeah, that's a big hit there on the semis. And I told you guys about about Nvidia. I said, watch out. When you trade up this much into an Opex week, you're very liable to be to have that trade reverse on you. It's very common practice for a stock that's overbought to pull back hard into Opex week. And anybody who is all buying up in here, that was just greed, straight up greed. And then we have the stock split on Monday, so that's going to be very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it sells off on Monday. Yeah, it's looking a little grim, but I mean, again, like it's an options expiration Friday. So last month they did the same thing. Remember we had that beat down on Thursday and Friday in the last month, and then Monday they gapped it up and just ran it to all-time highs. So we're going to take everything with a grain of salt, but we're going to respect it. It's a nice little downtick. We close below this trend line again, that would signal some weakness in the market. Yeah, the IWM though, that's definitely been the laggard, and it's made up. You know, you got the AMC, you got what's it called? Yeah, Intelia. I mean, these names are just in the stratosphere right now, valuation wise, and when they come back to earth, it's really going to drag the IWM down. Market, I think, on the hourly here, it should have a little bit of support. Yeah, there's 100 moving average, and then you got the gap fill here. So if we get through this 100 moving average, we'll go right to gap fill, and we'll probably stall out there if we do push lower. But outside of that, nice little downtick. Again, I was expecting, you know, after the sell-off was over, I was expecting kind of a float back up to 435 or so, and maybe just kind of a quiet afternoon, but nice little downtick there in the afternoon. Yeah, let's take a look at silver. Yeah, gold had a pretty big, pretty ugly candle today too. Yeah, I talked about this. Yeah, that's right. Silver kind of losing this 200 now. I talked about this the other day. I think silver has a leg lower in it, but I think that's going to be I think it's going to be a shakeout leg. So, I mean, we could trade down to, yeah, about 23 or so. I think that's going to be a good area to buy, though. Let's take a look at the gold. It was holding up nicely earlier. It looked like you wanted to put in a bullish pattern. That's why I said yesterday, like, let's not get too excited about this move. It's a nice move, but they could easily smash it down. But we'll have to see what it does Monday again. Never trust action on Opex. Yeah, see, market's getting a bit of a bid here. It might be done selling. We'll see. Still disappointed with this Jets, but I like the weekly. You know what I like about this especially is it traded down into Opex, right into your breakout level. You're just back testing that, and now a lot of the pikers and your average investors are like, oh, it's broken through the 200. It's closed below the 200 multiple times. That means it's done. But if you look at the bigger time frames, I always talk about. Yeah, look at the bigger time frame. Weekly 50 moving average is more weight than the 200 daily moving average. So really, you're just back testing this level here in this breakout candle. So I have no problem with it. I'm still perfectly fine holding. And if the market rolls over and dumps out and I take a loss on Jets, that's fine because I have VXX, so it'll be fine. Tried getting into GOTU earlier, but I never got a buy signal. This thing got pummeled. I traded this a few times over the last couple of months. This thing got pummeled today, and I was waiting for a buy signal on the intraday, and I just never got it. So that was a good thing that I didn't get that, because it got beaten down pretty good, and it doesn't look like it wants to recover right now. Yeah, yeah, all the Chinese stocks kind of getting hit right now. Sentiment's terrible for these Chinese names. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else really going on. I just wanted to do a quick live stream. I wasn't planning on staying too long. I just wanted to get this out because I don't have time to do a full video and full edit. But yeah, thanks guys for coming out. Actually, let's just take a look at the transports really quick before we get going. Yeah, transports. Yeah, possibly testing this pivot. I told you it's got to come down to that 14,000 area. And if you get there, yeah, I mean, you might as well just hit that 200. So possibly under some pressure soon. But all right, guys, I'm going to get going. Thanks for coming out, and I will do a full recap of the week and all the action that's taken place on Jason's channel on Wall Street for Main Street. Alrighty, guys, thank you. Take care, and we'll see you next time.